Now, I've got a confession to make. Since I came to Melbourne 3 years ago, I've seen clan graffiti everywhere, and I always thought it was from a bunch of people who really liked the book Clan of the Cave Bear. Can you please explain what the Cave Clan is all about?
Yeah, it started in January 1986, and that's basically when the graffiti was done. We were a bit younger, sort of, adolescents. And it started off just exploring mines, caves, that sort of thing, something to do in your spare time. It went on to drains, that's why we're called the Cave Clan and not the drain dwellers or whatever. And it's sort of just, now we basically explore anything underground, probably not your tourist cave sort of thing, but your more like alternative sort of thing, the stuff where people don't normally go, dark places.
What's the difference between you guys and your regular speleologist potholer type?
Well, they're normally, stay between the lines and very official. We're sort of more loose knit. We don't have guided tours. We ring up and say, look, you want to go in a drain sort of thing, basically. Whereas they're very straight and they're into meetings and, like they mightn't go up a side tunnel because it's got loose rock. Well, we'd be straight up to something like that to check it out.
This doesn't sound very safety conscious to me.
We're safety conscious in a way that we don't go up there banging the walls and smashing our head. We're very careful when we go in the dangerous tunnels, or the ones that we can.
Do you wear helmets?
Dangerous. Oh, we would if we, like in the type of tunnel I was just mentioning. In the drains we don't. They tend to be more of a hazard. You sort of banging your head on pipes and that what you normally wouldn't do when you put the helmet on. You tend to, it distracts you. You need to sort of be looking up a bit as you're walking along the lower tunnels. No, we don't wear helmets.
We better get something straight here. Some of us were a bit confused before. You guys explore stormwater drains, not sewers.
Yeah, you got some class, haven't you?
Yeah, some people were confused. Is it an Australia-wide club? Are there people all around Australia that explore?
Well, whenever we go, we've been to most states, more or less, except for Western Australia, and we've left our stickers there, and people have written to us saying that they do it. So yeah, there are drain explorers throughout Australia, and we've actually started up like in Sydney and Adelaide, branches of Cave Clan. So yeah, it seems to be a common thing. Melbourne's sort of got is a premier state as far as drain explorer.
I knew we had to be winning in something. Yeah. What's the normal sort of MO when you go to explore a drain? Let's just say you find a big hole leading out into the Yarra River or something like that, and you think, "Ooh, that looks like a likely-looking hole." Or maybe you find a manhole in the street. Well, what do you do from there when you decide to go and check it out?
Well, you get a torch and you go in, and you've got no idea what you're going to find. And
which way do you go?
We usually go in the open end, the downstream end of the
downstream end,
the drain,
and follow
work
it to
up from there. It gets smaller and smaller as you go up, and it branches.
Right. And how do you decide which branch to take? I mean, it's got
one that looks the most exciting, the most interesting.
Right. Yeah.
You think, oh, I wonder what's up there, and you go up that one.
And what happens when you finally get to the tunnel that you can't even squeeze down?
Eventually you get sick of it, and when you've been, struggling up a 4.5-foot pipe for 10 minutes, you think, nah, and you turn around and go back, or you find a manhole and get out.
I
should ask you something here. Do any women do this?
Yes, some.
So you should really be calling it a person hole.
Yeah, person hole, yes. That's
that
right.
was my question, James. I'm the chick here, dude.
Oh, sorry. Okay, well, so then you get up and what do you get a train back or whatever?
Yeah, that's right.
And how far away from your starting point might you be?
3 kilometres is a long one. Some of them are quite short. Some are long, some go for miles.
And are they straight in a nice, neat...
No, they twist and turn, and they've got loops in them.
But like a complete loop?
Yes, that's right. It's because of the way they're built. But when they first build a drain, if it's not big enough to carry the flow that's required, they don't pull it up and put in a bigger one. They build another one in parallel.
Right.
And join it up at each end.
Yeah.
So after they've done this 20 or 30 times, there's this fascinating maze of pipes wandering around. Yes, and you explore this, and it's lovely.
What's a good-looking stormwater drain look like? What would be a real classic on the inside? What would you say?
Oh, well, it's got to be big.
Got to be big.
At least 10 foot.
Yeah,
to be really good.
Yep.
Nice if it's brick. I think we prefer brick rather than concrete.
Right.
Bit of class, bit of style.
And this might be 80 or 90 years old, might it? Or?
Yes. Yeah, that'd be about the limit, I think. Yeah, sort of a lot of the brick ones date from the 20s and 30s.
Right, and it's got nice curves in it?
Yeah, the pipes wander around the curved way and they branch and rejoin in interesting ways. And
sounds like an underground brick sculpture sort of thing.
A few waterfalls are good value.
Yeah.
I think 25 foot high is the biggest waterfall we know of underground in Melbourne.
And is the water clean?
Yeah, it's pretty clean. They're basically creeks and rivers that have been put underground.
All right.
So they're not, drain, I guess is a rather negative term, but the water's quite clean.
So, how long has the clan been happening?
Since, as I was saying, January 86 is when it officially started, but the actual drain side of it didn't start until about nearly a year later, like we just did the drains in our local area.
This is Victoria, though, you're talking about.
Yeah.
What about, haven't people been dropping down to check them out earlier than that?
Oh, way back, like in Melbourne, there was a group called the Drainiacs from 1964.
Oh, wow.
Drainiacs.
Yeah. Well, their name's still written around in like black tar paint up the tunnels and that. There was also a bloke called Alf Sadlier, and he, what was he, from the 50s, 1958 and stuff like that, the same sort of thing, black tar paint. And then there's like France is fairly well known for its underground explorers, like they explored the sewers and that, and they were used by the French resistance and all that in the army. So yeah, it's went around, like, although we didn't copy it, like we just sort of did it because, like Northcote tends to have a lot of drains around it, and when you're a kid you sort of wander about but we didn't, but there it has been around. There's been a lot of people doing it for...
I don't want to give too much away, but I've forgotten my question.
What sort of wildlife do you find down in the drain? Have they got fish in the water, or bats, or rats, or... Come on, let's be frank here. We can talk about rats, can't we?
Yeah, there's a drain at Latrobe Uni that has... there's a lake system around Latrobe Uni, and there's the ducks go in through a small tunnel, and they go up to the grill that's at the waterfall. When it's hot, they go in there, and once they go up, they can't see the light from the little tunnel, so they get stuck there. So you normally walk up this tunnel and you hear like these ducks quacking, sort of. It's a bit eerie at first if you're not sure what they are. Turtles, not ninja ones, just normal ones. And
I wonder when they're going to come up.
Yeah, eels. You get a few eels in the ones that sort of you have to wade in.
Bats?
Occasionally bats, but not many. There's one in Brisbane apparently it's like you come to a section where it's just they've dug it out, it's still rock and all that, and there's bats galore there. Spiders, lots of spiders. And you very rarely see rats. You hardly see rats at all because there's not really much up there for them to eat or that. And I think they stick to sewers where they've stuff to eat.
I've just remembered my question. What a genius. I was going to ask you, what sort of people are the Cave Clan members? Are they all 18 years old and frisky as, full of adventure, or...
It's a bit of variety, like that type of person, a young person that's sort of into it for the adventure. Then there's the people that do it because it's weird, like you get a lot of, since we've had the PO box, you get a lot of strange people writing. I hope none of them are listening. But,
what's this PO box? Perhaps you should tell us about that.
Yeah, well, we started about a year ago. It's just so people can send right into us, and we send out information telling them if they want to start it up themselves. It's I might as well give it a plug. It's PO Box 268, Abbotsford 3067.